I do not assume that the media is my enemy, and I come from the right of center political spectrum, and so a lot of people in my business, in my area of the politics, even though I don't do electoral politics anymore, a lot of them assume the media is the enemy. I don't. They're individual people, and whether they agree or disagree with me, I try to connect to them on a human level, and I ask them a whole lot of questions before I give them anything. I want to know where they stand. I want to know what they already know. I want to know what their assumptions are. I want to know what they want from me before I start to respond to them. The more questions I ask of a reporter, regardless of print or visual, the more questions I ask before I give any answer, the better my answers are going to be. Because they're going to be more tuned either to the story that you're trying to promote, they're going to be more on point, and I'm going to be able to address the skepticism that reporters often have when they come into a story, particularly in a crisis situation. If I know how deeply you blame my client, I will begin a sentence with, now I know that some people feel X about my client, and I understand that feeling. But here's the truth. By acknowledging how they feel, I have connected to that skepticism, and it makes it much less likely that they're going to slam me, that they're going to slam my client. Second, if I've connected them on a personal level, you can't separate how you think and how you feel from the job that you do. So if I know that you hate healthcare companies because you think that they treat people inhumanely, then I will accept the premise that you have and then work to challenge it in this specific situation I'm in. If I know that, if I work for an auto company, and I do, I work for several of them, and I know that you've had a bad experience, I play into that, but I talk about that being part of the past rather than part of the present. I accept your assumptions. I don't try to challenge them because then I'm probably going to lose. I accept them, but then try to put them into context as I look forward. It is not nearly as aggressive as a lot of PR people are, but I think it's more effective. I think it's more likely to get a positive outcome at the end. One of the phrases that is so common in an interview, particularly in a crisis situation, is the phrase, "That's not what I meant." A much more powerful way to say it is, "How did you come up with that conclusion?" Ask them a question and then make them defend how they went from your A to their B. You are much more likely to get a reporter to change a story if you ask them the question than if you make an assertion, "Hey, you got it wrong," or "Your interpretation isn't correct." Simple, by the way. Is that really your interpretation? Is that what you got from this interview? Why? And then they're on defense, and they have to explain their methodology rather than you having to re-articulate it. It's a wonderful trick.